In studio, Dr. Faiez Kirsten now joins me. Assalamu alaikum and shukran so much for being here, Dr. Faiez.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Zainab.
I trust you are well.
Alhamdulillah, I'm well.
Good. Dr. Faiez, the topic this morning.
Yes, the so-called singularity, the smart grid, so-called, and the cashless society. I think we touched on these things last week, but I didn't really emphasize the singularity. I don't even think I mentioned the word. Can you recall if I mentioned the word singularity? Well, I think the first point I should make is that people must really understand words like 5G, technocratic police state, then the smart grid itself, like I mentioned, and Armageddon. Now, remember we mentioned the Malchama, I think last week, where the Prophet ﷺ prophesied, in the end times there'd be this massive Malchama, Armageddon. And people, experts in end times, or eschatology as they call it, say it's the nuclear war that's going to happen, the Third World War, which is going to be Armageddon, where 99 out of 100 people will die. But if you look at what's happening already, and with the 5G smart grid coming online, I think we're going to have Armageddon before nuclear Armageddon. We're going to have a 5G Armageddon, which is basically an electromagnetic Armageddon where people are going to be dying like flies. And so maybe I must start explaining that. But first I must explain what is known as the singularity, where these transhumanists are predicting by 2029, humans will merge with machines, and machines will then become more intelligent than humans. Okay, and our minds and our brains and our thoughts, our beliefs, will all be uploaded to this cloud, to this single or this brain computer or the single server, the central server, let me put it that way. Now, everything will actually be basically connected. It's called the 5G smart grid. Okay, it's a smart grid where everything, it's called Internet of Things, where every device, everything will be connected in this network of this Wi-Fi network across the globe, and basically even human beings are going to be connected to this smart grid, and then AI will basically control everything, artificial intelligence. AI will take over thinking of human beings, and then we won't be needed to think anymore, and that'll be the end of us, not only in terms of our mental status as human beings, as what we are as human beings, but as I said, 5G itself is an electromagnetic frequency, which is so fast, it vibrates so rapidly, I don't think any human being will be able to survive that. Those who do survive are not going to recognize themselves, okay? So the kind of electromagnetic frequencies that are used now are basically 4G. They're in the sort of the millions of hertz. Frequency is energy wave that vibrates. Hertz is basically how rapid the energy wave vibrates. So it's called cycles per second, or hertz. So a cell phone vibrates, that radiation vibrates at about 900 million hertz per second, okay? We're talking, in terms of fifth generation 5G, we're talking about billions of hertz per second. These are called millimeter waves. They vibrate so rapidly, they go right through your body. They were going to destroy our biology like we don't even know. We can't even imagine. So when you talk about Armageddon, I think this is basically what's going to be happening. This is the Armageddon the Prophet ﷺ prophesied. I obviously may be wrong, okay? But if I look at the capability of 5G, and what it can do in terms of our biology and the health impact it's already having in parts of the world, then I'm sorry to give this sort of somber message this morning. It doesn't look good for humanity at all. But okay, that's in Allah's plan. But I think we have a responsibility as humanity to basically take a stand and do something about it. If you die, you die in the process. But if you're a self-respecting human being, then basically you can't just sit back and do nothing. You have to basically do something. You got to take action. So you got to ask yourself, how much knowledge do you have about these matters, about what is going to happen, and what are you doing about it? If you have little knowledge, if you don't actually care about what's going on, you're doing nothing about it, then you must really consider the fact that you may be under mind control. And this is a call to people to basically, if they're interested in discussing these matters and seeing what we can do. There are people across the world that are doing things, they're doing things in a really big way to try and resist, the introduction of this 5G grid and also the technocratic police state, which is basically built on this 5G grid. So if people are interested in discussing this and seeing what we can do about it, then they're welcome to contact me. But if you do nothing about it, then, and when your kids and you suffer in the process in what's coming, then basically we only have ourselves to blame. So shall we talk about the singularity? Oh, and I did mention the singularity. The guy that's really pushing this is a guy called Ray Kurzweil, is the director of engineering of Google. Okay, we all know Google, number one evil company on the planet, where Ray Kurzweil has been working very hard to create nanotechnology that will be infused into human beings, and selling it as if it's going to make us better human beings, it's going to make us healthy human beings, it's going to make us, like we were never before in terms of our humanity. But in fact, it's exactly the opposite. Remember, we live in a world of deception. So whatever they tell you, it's exactly the opposite. So when you talk about smart this and smart that, think about, it's not smart, it's stupid on one level, but it's also about spying and controlling. That's really what it's about. So they talk about the smart grid, they talk about the smartphones, they talk about smart cities and smart devices and smart this and smart that, smart street lights. It's not about being smart, okay? It's about control and spying on people. Because data is really the new oil. In the past century, basically, these controllers of the world used oil to control the world, to get what they want. It's moved now into data. Data, they say data is the new oil. They're using your personal data to control you even more. So we're going to reach a point where when the smart grid comes online with 5G, they're going to control every single aspect of your life. Okay, I mean, I literally mean every single aspect of your life. Your entire house will basically be monitored, and you're going to be using government credits to basically go to the toilet, okay? Now, this sounds like Dr. Kirsten's really lost it this morning, eh? But if you've done the research, then you'll absolutely concur with what I'm saying. So, and then we can move on to the cashless society, what that is all about. But we must understand that, in fact, the oil-producing countries have actually played a big role in assisting the globalists to get to the point where they are today. Like I said, they took control of oil in the last century. And then through controlling oil, they basically control the world. Okay? Now it's moved from oil to basically data. Now we know Saudi Arabia is one of the biggest oil-producing countries in the last century at least. Okay? So they played a big role in assisting the globalists to get where they are today. Now Saudi Arabia is playing a big role in the technocratic state that's coming about in terms of data. I mean, they have plans to build one of the biggest data control cities in the world called NEOM, okay? And they also gave citizenship to Sophia, a robot last year. I don't know if you recall me saying that. The first country in the world to give citizenship to Sophia, that probably was the introduction of the global technocratic police state, probably, symbolically doing that. And you also saw photographs of Trump and the king of Saudi Arabia and this guy from Egypt, what's his name? Sisi, standing around a globe, putting hands on a globe, It's got a very evil connotation there. So, this is what we're faced with. And, if you're not aware of what's going on, then really it's time to wake up, people. And this is not a joke. Your minds are going to be completely removed from you, okay? Your mind is going to be uploaded. Already they're controlling minds electromagnetically. Your entire mind is going to be uploaded to the cloud. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, your memories, and so forth are going to be manipulated and downloaded into other people's brains and minds. And so your thoughts and beliefs are not going to be your own anymore. So if you want to have that autonomy still as a human being, we need to start waking up like yesterday already.
You're listening to Radio 786 100.4 FM. It is 20 past 9. If you have just joined us, a very warm welcome. In studio, I have Dr. Faiez, Kirsten, and we're talking about the singularity, also the cashless society. You mentioned someone, Ray Kurzweil.
Yes.
And I think I've seen that name before, and you also said he's part of the Google, is it?
Yes, Ray Kurzweil is a guy who's developed few devices over the years, a reading device for blind people and a couple of other devices, and he wants to live forever. Okay, so he feels technology will develop so rapidly and to such a degree that it in fact will be possible for human beings to live forever. So immortality is his goal. It's going to happen, he says, around about 2029. Initially it was 2045. And so he takes about 150, I think, supplements every day just so that he can survive until that point where technology now will take over and enable us to basically live forever. Okay. Now, obviously, if you're a Muslim or if you're just a common sense human being, then you'll know that no human being, nothing lives forever. Every soul will taste death. Everyone will die, including Ray Kurzweil, even though he deludes himself that he's going to live forever with his technology.
But Dr. Faiez, what exactly would you say, in your opinion, is the objective of these people? What do they really want to take over humanity, or?
Well, they hit the nail on the head. They don't want to take over. They want to basically destroy you. They want to control you, every single aspect of your life, and they make you suffer in the process, okay? Because they hate humanity. They hate human beings. These are evil people, okay? They just want to control. It's about power and control. It's not about money. They've got all the money in the world. They just print it out of nothing, out of thin air. I mean, if you have the power to print money out of thin air, then it's not about money anymore. It's about power and control, okay? And that's what they want to do. And that's what they are doing. It's not what they want to do. They are doing that right now.
Let's go to the lines. Radio 786. Assalamu alaikum.
Salam to you, lady, and salam to my favorite doctor.
Wa alaikum salam.
You know, doctor, there was alim, may Allah give him Jannah.
Ameen.
He spoke to us this more than nearly 40 years ago with the Maulana Ibrahim Adam. And he, in that time already, he spoke the main country towards the freedom of Palestine is through Syria. But my point I want to pose this, you know, you speak about this thing. To me personally, looking at it, I'm hardly educated, but I just take interest in these kinds of issues, you know. To me, the so-called Western world, they speak about the Antichrist. I think most probably, and it's mostly, and we shouldn't be afraid to say this, is these Western countries like France, America, Britain, to me these people are the Antichrist. With the kind of, not all of them, but mostly they're politicians. But what role do we as so-called Muslims, you've just spoken about Saudi Arabia. To me at the present moment, and please, I don't know when we are going to discuss this, I don't think we must just accept this. We must make some effort. At least the younger generation get an understanding, trying to find an alternative to these kinds of evil that's been forced on the world population, mostly the Muslims and the marginalized. The role that Saudi Arabia plays. The Haram is one of the most, in fact, the holiest place in Islam, attached to Masjid al-Aqsa. You get this guy, Salman, of Saudi Arabia, he gives the leeway to the Americans and Netanyahu to in fact, further enslave the people then to fight for their freedom. In fact, you know, I think personally, we got a great problem in the Muslim Ummah as such to try and address this problem, especially with the Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
Because to me, they are the strongest force against Islam. And they are the so-called people that call themselves Muslims. So, to me personally, I don't think the West is the greatest problem. No, the Zionists, because we know their agenda in the world. But I think surely Saudi Arabia's role, what it plays in the Muslim Ummah today, must be discussed in detail, not about only in South African circles, ulama, I think the global one.
Shukran so much for your contribution. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. We have one more caller. This is Radio 786. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, Janabin. Assalamu alaikum, Doctor. I hope I got enough airtime to speak to you.
Wa alaikum
I'm waiting so long, but be it as it may. I just want to add to the discussion. You know, Zainabin, you asked me, what is the purpose of these people? If you go back to the Second World War, and you find out that Hitler chased out all the bankers, international bankers, and he crippled every He banned usury. He banned all these things that is prevalent in our society today. And then because 90% of his people were unemployed, the German people, because of the control of the bankers. He even kicked out a Rothschild, a baron, something that he threw out. Now, what I'm trying to say is, Zainabine, you want to know why are these people doing this? These people have a purpose. They have a purpose to control everything. They're controlling the media. They're controlling our society. They're even controlling our religion. Our religion has been infiltrated. But that Haji that was speaking about, it was conjecture, But what we must do, we as people, we must go back to our Quran. And you will notice that none of these people will be able to influence us. It's because we've been influenced. We've been dogmatized. That's why they can do with us what they want to. They're using Saudi Arabia now as a scapegoat, as a front. And we are going to fight Saudi Arabia and we will destroy ourselves. And this is what they are after. So we must be very careful how we go about these matters. But if we go back to our Quran, Zainabine, believe me, doctor, none of these things will happen to us. Because if you look at the life of Hitler, he chased out all these international bankers that is prevalent in our society today. The whole world is controlled. No country controls their reserve bank.
Okay.
South Africa is a typical example. South Africa is not, somebody else is controlling our reserve bank. They are running our money. They are dictating to us. Why? Because our leaders have sold us out.
Okay,
all of them. Because they became so filthy rich. It's all about money, Zainabin. But if you go to the history of Hitler, why did he do that to the Jewish people? Why did he chase them out of the country? Why did he confiscate all the banks? And when he took over, Germany became 99% employed and everybody was happy. But then the whole world turned against him. They made him a villain. And this is what we must look at. Because it's how we are controlled.
Okay.
Shukran, doctor. I wish you can comment on that, doctor.
Inshallah. Shukran. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You're listening to Radio 786 on 100.4 FM. In studio, I do have Dr. Faiez, Kirsten, and Dr. Faiez. We have one more caller holding. Yulavani, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. And salam alaikum to the listeners as well.
Wa
Just
alaikum
to comment on Dr. Faiz's a statement where he says that they are going to control the minds of people. I'm kind of big to differ that that's already started to happen, because and also the statement about the Saudis and what they've been doing for years. Now, you know what? Our community is not blind to that, or we can't say that we don't know about that. We've been aware of the role that the Saudis have been playing since the time of our Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The concern that I'm raising here is that our minds are already controlled, because the more we know about the atrocities of Saudi Arabia, the more we run to Mecca. And it is our Hajj money, that sacred Hajj money, that is actually funding all of this. So where are our minds in any of this? And more so, where is our Islam? And we should really question, if the Prophet ﷺ would have been here today, what would his take have been on the Hajj as it stands today, considering what he's doing? I think we as a community, we as individuals, need to really very, very seriously look at these things and then stop, ask ourselves, how are we controlled? Because, as I said, the more we know about this, the more. You're going to hear now shortly. This is just done. Then there's going to be an advert again about Hajj and this Hajj package and that Hajj package. It's become our own status. Shukran.
Shukran so much for your contribution. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. We have one more caller before you comment, Dr. Faiez. You're listening to Radio 786. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, Doctor and Zainab.
Wa alaikum salam.
I enjoy your program. The thing is, how do you get this message out? I'm trying to explain to my grandchildren. I'm unable to do justice definitely. Will you have any recordings for sale at the expo? And what specifically I want to know is when Dr. Kirsten will be there.
Inshallah, we will give you that details at the end of this discussion, inshallah. But Dr. Faiez Kirsten will definitely be at the Radio 786 Cape Town and Ramadan Lifestyle Expo 2018, inshallah.
Yes, but will you have any lectures there?
We'll give you details about that a bit later.
Okay.
Shukran so much. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dr. Faiez.
Where do I start? There were so many good points brought up. The lady,
I think one of the callers mentioned that Dr. Faiez mentioned that our minds will be controlled, but I think we kind of cleared that and said that
no, we are already under mind control. So we're on the same page. The lady that phoned in, we're exactly on the same page with all the points that she made. Our minds are already under control. It's just going to get worse, much worse than what we think it is right now. There's no doubt about that. Looking at, obviously, we don't do anything about it and try to prevent it, it's going to happen. Okay, it's already happening in a big way. Like, for example, we had a discussion on the banking system not a while ago, and the response was like nothing. No one was outraged. Nobody, I don't know anybody phoned you, but nobody phoned me or emailed me or contacted me and said, I didn't realize we're being robbed blind every single day by the banks. Not one person. Now, if I told you, Zainab, thieves are stealing your stuff at home, what would you do?
Of course, I'll be.
You'll take action immediately, right? But when you tell people the banks are stealing from them, they do nothing. That is absolute mind control. Okay? So, the Saudis' role, we know about the Saudis' role. The Saudi Arabia is only 100 years, not even 100 years old as a country, if I'm not mistaken. But definitely, it's a young country. So before Saudi Arabia is named after a family. I think that's the only country in the world that's actually named after a family. Okay? I don't know what my country's name is going to be, but maybe Faiz country or Kirsten country. But anyway, what other points were there? We're already under mind control. How do you get this message out? You tell me. I've been trying this for years, and all you do is you come up against a brick wall.
But I think that the reason why we're having this platform is to create that awareness, that sense of awareness.
Crucial.
Because when it's out there, then what you do with the information is entirely your decision. We also have a few WhatsApp messages that came via 0786 10 11 12. Remember, our lines also open 021 699 1786. And of course, it's Radio 786 on 100.4 FM. Assalamu alaikum. What they say, let a person think about the high-tech stuff. It's true. It's all about the world, the new world order. It's the Rothschild, the Rockefeller, the Illuminati. It's time we must wake up as Islam and Muslims.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe I'm just quote James Corbett. I mean, he's a really brilliant journalist. Got the Corbett report. He says the technocratic agenda is not about saving the earth. It is not about helping the public. It's not even about making money. It is about complete control over every aspect of our daily life. In a nutshell, that's basically what we're basically faced with. Every single aspect of your life, including your own mind, your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, your memories, who you are as a human being, is already under control in many instances, but it's going to be a global thing. The entire global population is going to be under control. So there's diabolical scientists who've basically come up with these technologies to enable the globalists to do what they are doing and what they are planning to do. And I maybe want to quote one of them, Dr. Robert Duncan. I call him the diabolical Dr. Duncan, but apparently he's now remorseful Dr. Duncan, after what he's done. But he says this, he's a graduate of Harvard, and I don't know where else he graduated from, got a degree in business and in computer science and this and that, okay? He says, my apologies to the human race for my contribution to tyranny. I was tricked. In fact, this comes from his book, The Matrix Deciphered. If you want a copy, anyone can contact me. I'll send you a copy. He said, I was tricked into thinking it would not be misused by corrupt government, especially in my beloved country. He's obviously talking about America. I was wrong. The Joint Non-Lethal Weapons Directorate has skipped green on the governing board. One of my old colleagues at a technology think tank in Cambridge, partly in charge of the radio frequency weapons testing for neurological disruption, now torturing and killing people worldwide. Listen to that. Neurological disruption, now torturing and killing people worldwide. He was involved in developing that technology. Several other US Navy and UK Navy scientists have been knocked off, and that is why I have come forward. I know my time may be near. I'm currently a professor in computer science and business, helping to educate the public on government corruption, greed, and stupidity. Like my ancestor Lincoln, I'm fighting against mental slavery in a new civil war engineered by the same useless elements in over 80 government agencies who have tested radiological, drug, and viral weapons on unsuspecting Americans for 45 years. Okay, it's not like yesterday. This thing's been going on for a long time. I mean, I can read a lot of stuff here from his book, but I'm not going to do that.
We in fact have a caller, Dr. Faiez, if we can just quickly go there. You're live on Radio 786. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, and Dr. Faiez.
Wa alaikum salam.
I just want to say shukran for the beautiful program.
Afwan.
And also I want to say, I'm also happy that there are enlightened people out there about the lady that called now to mention about how the Saudis or the agents are selling these packages to go to, to do the Umrahs and the Hajj. And, Hajj is something that we have to do. But Umrahs and the way they are marketing that is definitely mind control. And it's frightening what's happening today.
Absolutely.
Everybody is just jumping on the bandwagon and forgetting about realistic or the, whatever, what they can do with their money. And the Saudis are using this money to build this empire. Why don't they use that money here in their own country and use and build this empire here? Anyway, that's all that I would like to say. Shukran.
Shukran to you. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are due for a break, Dr. Faiez, but we also have a number of WhatsApp messages. One of it reads, live forever. Isn't that what Shaitan promised Nabi Adam alayhi salam?
Exactly. Thank you for that. This is the satanic forces at work here, basically.
Now let's first take that break, Dr. Faiez, and inshallah after the break we continue. We will still allow for callers 0216991786. Remember, you may also WhatsApp your comments or questions to 0786 10 11 12. Dr. Faiez Kirsten in studio with me this morning. Do stay tuned. It is 10:15 on Radio 786 and the program Community Pulse continues. I'm Zainab Bean and in studio my first guest is Dr. Faiez Kirsten, and as many of the people wanting to know when exactly Dr. Faiez Kirsten will be at the Radio 786 Cape Town Ramadan and Lifestyle Expo flavoured by Cuisine Spices. He will be there for the full 3 days, inshallah. I'll give the times exactly, and we will further discuss that at a later stage. Nonetheless, Dr. Faiez, we had quite a number of WhatsApp messages, but also comments from callers with regards to the topic this morning.
Yes, shukran again to all the WhatsAppers and the callers. Appreciate those comments. I think the brother, about the Quran, we always mention, the Quran, and absolutely that is really our solution, quite honestly. It is the instruction manual. It has all the solutions in it, and we really just need to go back to the Quran, in order to live our lives the way we should and fight these evil forces that are basically wanting to make us suffer and die and destroy us. So we have the instructions, okay, and we then must follow the instructions. It's useless having the instruction manual and you don't actually do anything with it. So shukran to the brother for reminding us again about the Quran.
We also have a few WhatsApp messages. Assalamu alaikum. What an awesome show. It's mind-boggling that people that want power don't think this world is not forever. That everything has an ending. Alhamdulillah, that Allah has given of us that consciousness to see things for what they are. And I think we very often speak about being able to see things for what they really are.
Absolutely. Look beyond the obvious. I mean, nothing lives forever. Even the universe is going to be destroyed. According to Ray Kurzweil, his technology is going to send out these nanobots not only into us as human beings, millions and billions of nanobots in our brains and in our bodies, but he's going to send out nanobots to the entire planet, which is going to make everything intelligent, everything, trees and whatever, and then he's going to send these nanobots out into the universe and make the entire universe intelligent, and then the entire universe will wake up. And then he asks himself a question. He asks, does God exist? And then he answers his own question, and he says his answer is not yet. Okay? So that tells you about this man, basically. He asked the question, does God exist? And then he answers it and he says, not yet. God will exist when he basically makes the entire universe intelligent. The challenge to him is, first create a universe, then we can talk. Okay? Create a universe first, then we can talk. Other than that, it's just delusion. Okay? And don't use God's creation that is already created. Don't use all the elements that are out there to manipulate them and make as if you're creating something new. Create something completely new from scratch. Create your own universe with its own elements and everything else in it. And then write a book about that universe. Okay? And then we can talk. Besides that, other than that, it's all delusion, basically.
Dr. Faiez, the book, The Matrix Deciphered. If people want copies of those books.
Yeah, it's available online, but you can email me. I'll send you a copy.
Okay. At the end of the program, inshallah, we will, of course, give the details of Dr. Faiez, the contact number and the email address. But do visit us at the Radio 786 Cape Town number 9 and Lifestyle Expo, flavoured by Cuisine Spices, this weekend. That's 4th, 5th and 6th of May. And you can get an opportunity to actually chat to the doctor yourself, inshallah. And I know that many people are waiting for that opportunity. Nonetheless, doctor, in terms of moving forward, or because now you have all this information, you have all the not all the answers maybe, but you have at least consciousness, you have that awareness. And so what now? How do you, because it always for me sounds almost tricky to not be part of a system that controls everyone and everything in it.
We're in the system, unfortunately, and the solution is to get out of the system. That's what we should all be striving for. And I'm going to come to the community exchange system in terms of the financial side. We still must talk about the cashless society, but we have to strive to get out of the system. So we got to stop using technology as much as possible. As hard as it is, try to use your cell phone as little as possible. Switch it off when you're not using it. That's why you can't contact me sometimes. My phone is off. Pushing junk data, onto the internet so that you clog up their systems with junk data, because they're using data to control you. Your data that you're giving them. People are actually giving them, information about themselves. They're putting it on all these different social. I've closed my Facebook account, my Twitter account, my LinkedIn account. You won't find me there anymore. I've closed those accounts. And we got to get out of the system as quickly as possible, because the more you actually use these systems, the more you're enslaving yourself. And we're actually buying these things with our own money. So we're basically buying our own enslavement, really. So that's really the solution, is to get out of the system as quickly as we can. Yeah.
Let's very briefly discuss the cashless society.
Well, without a cashless society, without there being, if there's paper money in the system, then the smart grid can't work, and the technocratic police state won't be able to work. We won't be able to control you completely if you still have control over money. A little bit of control over money, keeping paper money in your pocket. So they have to get rid of all paper money, and everything has to be digital. So that's when they say cashless society, there'll be no paper money. And that is absolute prerequisite for the technocratic police state to actually be able to work. Okay, so now they obviously, in different countries, they're starting to actually move in that direction. I think Denmark is already completely cashless, if I'm not mistaken. So who's driving this cashless society? Obviously the controllers, the guys who own the banks, okay, the banking system. So the banks are driving it. You have your financial technology companies are driving it, okay, because they build these systems, your payment companies, your credit card companies, they're driving it, like Visa, MasterCard, okay. So they're all getting fees if you basically use their systems. But if you have paper money, then they don't really make fees from that. If you and I have to transact just with paper money, then we remove the middleman, okay? And so they basically have been losing out from that part. They want to control everything and make money off everything. Literally everything they want to make money off. It's all about money.
I heard a radio ad not too long ago where it was actually in Afrikaans, where this ad says that plastic is koning, like plastic is king. In other words, a card.
Oh my gosh, yeah, well, there's mind control, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking
well, there's a good example of mind control. How can plastic be koning?
Yeah.
Koningin.
So basically saying that
if they said gold is koning, then maybe we'll talk.
No, they say plastic is koning. In other words, your cards, your
card is
credit
king.
cards that you're using.
Your card is your master. That's why they call it MasterCard.
You're listening to Radio 786 on 100.4 FM, and this is the first hour of Community Pulse this morning in conversation with Dr. Shabir, Dr. Faiez Kirsten.
Zainab, that's a Freudian slip there. I must do some investigation.
Dr. Faiez Kirsten, of course, in studio with me, and we're talking about some of the things that I think we never think about. We just in the system automatically, and we go with the flow, and we follow what everyone else is doing. So everyone else has a cell phone, everyone else is buying data or whatever, and everyone else is using cards, and so we all feel that we should all follow in this way. In fact, no one wants to be different, isn't it?
Absolutely. The saying that comes to mind, I forgot it now, but we're born in the system, into the system, and we go to school and they indoctrinate us, and we believe this stuff because we don't think about it. You go to university, whatever they tell you there, you take it as the absolute truth. If you're not thinking about what a lecturer is telling you while he's telling you it, and go home and then reflect over what he told you and then do a bit more research, then you're going to believe everything that lecturer told you, or your teacher told you. Okay, you can't expect little kids, in school. But at university, people are not critically thinking about what they're being taught, and they take it as a gospel truth, basically. I mean, what I was taught at business school, a lot of it made absolutely no sense. But I had to pass the exam, so I studied it, and I wrote the exams. But a lot of it was complete garbage, nonsense, actually. I would have probably been better off if I didn't go to business school. But there you have it. They're basically teaching you stuff which they want you to believe, so that you can basically be part of the system to continue enslaving yourself and the rest of your global population, humanity, fellow human beings.
Dr. Faiez, Assalamu alaikum, and also to you, Zainab. Our solution is in the Quran, in Surah Al-Kahf. We need to make hijrah to remote areas, grow our own food, harvest our own rain, water, use gold and silver to trade.
Yep, there you go. It's not as easy as saying it just like that, because I've been trying that for a while. I mean, we looked at different areas to go and live. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. Yeah.
And once again, I think this was one of our previous callers saying that I'd say that the controlling of our minds is already happening, as we also mentioned.
Completely, 100% happening already. I mean, absolutely.
Dr. Faiez, to those who are interested in finding out a bit more about you, not just maybe at the expo, but sooner than that, can you please provide us with your contact details and also your email address?
You can contact me at Faiez, F-A-I-E-Z, at brainscience.co.za, Faiez at brainscience.co.za, or 078-416-2673, 078-416-2673. Remember, my cell phone is off most of the time. So I'll get back to you as soon as I can. 078-416-2673, Faiez at brainscience.co.za. We forgot, we didn't have time to talk about the community exchange system, but maybe at another time.
Inshallah, maybe in our next discussion we'll do that. Dr. Faiez, to you, it's always an absolute pleasure being able to speak to you, and also shukran so much for your insightful discussions that we normally have on a Thursday morning between 9 and 10. Do remember that you can catch Dr. Faiez Kirsten at the Radio 786 Cape Town Ramadan and Lifestyle Expo, flavoured by Cuisine Spices. And there's only one sleep left, so it's tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, inshallah. Hope to see you there. Ameen. Well, that's it for the first hour. Do stay tuned to Radio 786 on 100.4 FM. Shortly we'll have the latest news.